Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, my name is Lade Olabi and it's such a pleasure to have you on the channel today, babe.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you so much. So today, as you can probably tell from the title, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be reacting to some of the roles we've had to play in the past few weeks or days. And that is particularly related to the union of Olusoji Iola to Olua, now Iola. What roles did we play? Okay, so quick backstory in case you don't know about us. So my husband here is the lead serving pastor of Life Church in Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria, and I am his wife. And here at Life Church, the two people involved in this conversation came at different times and then met each other in church, got married in church. Do you want to say anything about how they came to church?
Well, I think I should say first of all, what makes their wedding, different, because this is not the first time a
wedding from church.
A wedding from church, but this is the first time we are having a wedding in church. Okay, the first person that got married that is part of us. We just started then anyway. Maybe Adiola. Maybe we're a year or two into
about a year or two
into the
ministry.
I don't think it's up to 2 years to the ministry. Well, the husband doesn't attend the church is just starting. The wedding took place in Ife. I think we traveled down to
and
Ife.
There's a vlog.
Yeah, I think there's a vlog about that wedding.
I'll leave the link in
there. There's a vlog about that wedding too. But this is different because
then there was another one. There was Emmanuel.
Emmanuel too, yes. Emmanuel and Adiola too.
But she wasn't an LLC member yet. And he wasn't here.
Yes, and Emmanuel too was just so he had joined but not very close.
Committed.
Yeah. So we were there too. We were there with some leaders in Lagos. So I think maybe we should talk. I know this was not part of the conversation. I think we should talk about what makes this marriage unique.
Well, yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what do you think makes this marriage unique?
I mean, I think first of all is the fact that they both met in church. For me, not just the fact that the wedding is happening in church.
Yeah.
For me personally, it makes it very special to me that because it just puts everything. That's why anytime I got emotional during the whole preparation was because I was just thinking that how can people meet each other because of a vision? Like if there was no Life Church, they might have met, but it might have been in another circumstance. So for me, that's what makes it very special that they met in church. Of course, they're also pastors now, so that's also special. And then it happened in church. But for me, just the fact that they met in church, they came from different routes for different reasons. I don't think they came thinking that they would meet their spouse. They were both in relationships when they joined the church. But see where we are.
Yeah, I think it's special for me because they are good leaders.
They're committed.
They are committed.
They are both
equally
committed
to the church.
Yeah.
That makes it special for me. Maybe I should jump the gun. I just want to say, and also the way they got us involved.
They carried us along,
all the way.
Yeah.
So that's what will determine whether
we're involved
somebody
or
like
not.
that gets the kind of support they got. But I want to say that we will always give that kind of support, but it also depends on how you are. But I feel like for a lot of leaders, we have a special bond with most of our leaders.
Yeah, we do.
So and that's why we feel like it's like our children are getting married. These are people. I know there are churches that started some few years ago, and they are doing great. They have a lot of married people.
Multiple weddings.
No, not weddings. Some of them don't even have
married
weddings.
people.
They have married people, and they that's like a this thing.
They're bragging rights.
They're bragging rights to them. But I think I prefer this. I think I prefer having
growing
and having young people who some of them came without bearing, without direction, broken, and now I feel like it's a special bond being part of how they found their wives, how they found their husband, being part of how they got married, being part of naming their children.
Oh my
Man,
gosh.
I prefer it to just having maybe families. You know, I mean, I love that too, but that's more intimate.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
are part of the
journey.
Connection. Yes,
exactly.
So for me, I think the role is going to still be the same, even more as long as God blesses us.
Yeah.
I feel we are going to have to, you know, play some kind of parental role when Derek get married.
Oh my
when
God!
Papa gets married. When Detons get married. When Megros get married. When Enoch get married. When Abraham get married. When I mean, a lot of them that are there. Christian,
you know, Folushewa,
Toyin.
Yeah.
All of them that are, you know, leaders today. I feel like we will still be stoned. We will still be performing Esther, Ayobami, all those people. I mean, all of them. I can't. They are much now, so I can't. So I feel like we are going to still be that. We are still going to be playing that parental role. And for some who may not, it won't even matter whether they marry here in Life Church.
Yeah.
Anywhere they marry.
Yeah.
Anywhere they marry. I can imagine some of them married in Benin. I'll be there a day before, 2 days before. You know, making preparation. We'll be there to Dobale. So I feel like I'm not sure about members, but for leaders. I'm going to be, because I feel like they are, you know. So that's why if you are a leader in Life Church, there's no way we are still going to be putting that kind of putting everything with God, because we share a bond, like a special connection with them. Yeah. So let's go to what are the roles.
This video is so fun. Like, I didn't know it would be this fun. Yeah. So quickly, the roles we played during the wedding of Olusoji and Ibukunlua. Of course, there was that part of counsel.
Yeah, even before the counsel, I remember I was one that had to tell Soji to Ogweni, well, I'm hearing this, come and talk to
me. He said it in his testimony yesterday. He said how he was scared to come and meet you because he didn't want to come and meet you, and then change his mind afterwards, you know.
So I mean, being part of,
I remember there was even a time
you're unsure.
You're not sure exactly. That part too. Yeah. There was a part where he was already showing interest, but then he was still in that other relationship. So I'd had a conversation with IBK, and then at some point it was like he's showing interest. Later he stopped showing interest, and I told her, I said he will come back and he will beg. I remember that I was standing on that he will beg. Just that when he came to the house, PJ had to start telling me that because I was now entering the role of big sister for IBK. Like Shebi, he was first giving red light, green light. Later, the green light is turning yellow. So I was like, he's going to be big, and I just thank God that we're part of all of those stages. So the role of counsel, and then doing the general counseling.
Yeah.
And I think beyond general counseling, these are people who they understand the importance of wisdom, so they seek counsel along the way. They seek in terms of we're going to see our parents now. Okay, so what should we take along with us? Okay, we are going to do, because you can be doing regular counseling in church and you don't tell us when you're going to see each other as parents. We'll just ask as a matter of duty that have you seen each other's parents, and the answer will be yes or no.
I personally took them through unfortunately through marriage counseling, and it wasn't I at least I did all I know, though we didn't have all the time, but I made sure that they at least they have all the tools that they need to be ready for marriage. So counsel. What's the next thing? Planning.
And this is also the part of carrying us along. So I remember my first conversation with Soji about the wedding, when I said, I just need to know a budget. If you have a budget, everything will go into the budget. And so it really helped us, because there are times when I started to get overwhelmed. When the reality starts dawning on you that this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, so I've cleared cake. I want to clear music. I want to clear decorations. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, calm down. Let's go back to the budget. So the budget will help us decide what type of cake we're getting. We don't decide the type of cake first. Then we'll now say, oh, we can't afford it, and it will now make us feel bad. So carrying us along in planning, and I think they trusted us to a large extent. I was being careful because, their families involved. they're coming here to Light Church, and it's not in our culture for a wedding to happen away from the bride's family's location, right? So that diplomacy part I had to play with wisdom. Of course, I had to seek counsel, such that we're able to balance, so that the family of the bride, when they came, they handled everything that had to do with food. They felt comfortable enough to do everything they were supposed to do, and then just making sure that all bases are covered with the checklist. So there is something called the wedding checklist. If you guys want to see a video with myself and Pastor IBK talk about how the whole wedding planning went, please let me know, because I've thought about filming it, but then I'm not quite sure if it's something you guys want to see. So yeah, planning. Do you want to say anything about planning?
Yeah, planning, and I think apart from the fact that we as a church, we didn't just play the role of a church, we played the role of a family. Like the burden would have also placed them on them as a church wasn't there. So it's just like family. Our children are getting married.
It was like our children. The feeling that morning, on the morning of the wedding, I remember the joy was so, I can't describe it, but then I can imagine what somebody's biological parent will feel when their child is getting married. Like, I tasted that feeling. And for the first time in a long time in Light Church, I mean, every people used to say mommy, mama, when you call your pastor's wife mommy or mama. It's awkward. For me, for the longest time, it was awkward. But that day, it wasn't awkward. I was mommy. And I received it with my full chest. And I think another thing I saw significantly change was so many people started calling you daddy after the wedding, or on that wedding. And did you notice too?
Yeah, a lot more people.
So, I mean, it was really emotional. Like, I tried not to put my emotions in front of me that day, because I had my event planner hat on. I just needed to make sure that everything was right. We had so much drama with our vendors, but we thank God for wisdom and just how we're able to. And we went beyond planning. We went into execution as well. So we were carrying chairs, we were carrying tables, we were, it was a family thing. Execution, support, and I think we've covered all bases, right?
Yeah, I think we've covered. I think for me too, apart from the fact I have to play a fatherly role, I also have to play the role of a pastor. I had to rehearse, joining them. Not the words part of it, but the emotional part of it, just to make sure I don't cry. During that moment, it's for me.
It was emotional.
It was for the miracle, and not just for them. I've always imagined, all these people getting married, and I just always imagine myself putting my emotions.
I could bet 1,000 books that you were going to cry.
No, I wasn't. All my thoughts were on the surface. I wasn't thinking anything deep that day. I wasn't thinking, see. I was just surface. That was why I could, I could prevail over that emotion. Ooh. And we know that they are going to do well. Yeah. And also, we are very sure, because they listen and seek advice, they seek counsel. So, and the Bible says that in the multitude of counsel there is safety. So I'm very, very sure that there is safety. So for future marriages, we just want to say that we keep supporting you as a pastor, and as a father, as a mother, as a parent, and we can be sure that your home will be heaven on earth.
Amen. And I pray that God blesses us, because you see, this Inowo.
Yeah.
What's Inowo in
English?
Because
you have to cook. You have to get a vendor to cook for the church. Inowo, spending money.
Spending money. So that's how they greet people in here. Like
so it's a lot of
like well done spending money. There's a lot of spending money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spending
between
money.
us, we spend
a lot.
Let's not but
a whole lot. I remember that part of I wanted to maybe make a different video, because I owe you guys one video about hospitality. I took that burden upon myself, and I said, you know what, I'm going to need to cook some type of food for Light Church workers. I had no doubt that everybody that came for the wedding will eat. I had no doubt. But even when people eat, because it's how many hours, people who started working, because the engagement started at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
People who are working started from overnight. And I didn't want a situation where, of course, they're going to be giving one meal expected during the reception, whatever time that would be. But I know that by the time we're breaking up, like when we're packing up, that would be evening, 4-5 p.m. At that point, they need to eat again.
Then even if in case, because you are serving, in case you don't you don't have time to read,
for many reasons, it was just safer for me, and I thank God that I was able to do it. It was not easy at all. I had to use all the faith I have in my life to gain resources, and I just want to especially say thank you to Meg Rose, because she really came through for us. She's also a member, and she decided to take up that job as my catering vendor for Life Church. So thank you so much, Sister Margaret. We're able to make that happen, and I'm just praying that God provides, because as long as we have, we will do much more for those people who are in the future. And if you're watching this, you're not a member of Life Church, you want to join Life Church, you better join the family, and not just join for joining's sake. Join and serve, join and work, and join and be part of the family. This is so exciting. I'm very grateful that we got to do this video. Thank you so much, PJ. If you want to see more videos like this, ask us questions about church, ask us questions about anything, send it to our DM on Instagram, or you can leave it as a comment on the videos, and we'll be very, very happy. If you want us to do a Q&A, let me know. This is it, right? Until next time,
keep being the best version of you.
Thank you. Bye.